This is not quite the configuration, but yeah, settings and all. And cancel it. By the way, let's see what all we can do today. And as for this one, finally live came here, like went live after 2 days. I have been just busy doing some work, and I've been busy learning this stuff as well, and because of that thing it hasn't really been possible for me. As for this network issue, can't really do anything. I'm gonna be live probably for 1 hour, and then I'll of course call it. But before that, in this 1 hour, I'm gonna be getting this particular thing done. So whatever we have to work on, we are just gonna be working on really quickly. What is gonna be the focus over here? The focus is gonna be the deployment part. So I hope the deployment section is gonna be done soon. And apart from this particular thing, I didn't even check whether I'm audible or not. So here we are. Hasn't really? Yeah, I'm audible. So without any further delay, hopefully it's gonna be opening up. I mean, something or the other should definitely happen anyway. So come back here, and we have to go to where we have to just simply we went through some of the things were remaining, sort of pending. So let's simply re-go through them. So we talked about cluster spots, replica sets deployment, AWS EKS. This is something we have to check whether this actually works as expected or not. So let me first of all start this thing initially. Now I'm not sure what the hell. I'm not sure whether within 1 hour everything's gonna be accomplished or not, but at least I can check some of. I'll try my level best to do the things. Whatever things are remaining, they are gonna be done later. Okay, what am I gonna do? That by default, I'm just simply adding these add-ons over here. Kube proxy, AWS ABS, and with IO, IDC, and then auto configure, and then metadata. So what I actually think that if I just remove this configuration, then what will happen? Even if I just remove these tags, R2 scalar true, so these policies are added by default, and I think all these things are done. Let me see what exactly happens. So what am I gonna do here? We talked about this like yesterday when we ran this particular command. Not yesterday, whenever I was live on this particular topic. So we ran this command and the tags were automatically added to the R2 scaling group. And now I'm gonna be running this configuration without those tags, and see what's gonna happen here. So ultimately two things I'm gonna be doing here. If I go to oops, and this particular section is gonna be just the main one, EKS. So EKS deployment, right? Not deployment, even EKS cluster. It's too hot inside my room, I can't even turn on the fan, but okay, never mind. So this is the configuration right now. Of course I have to get rid of these two things, and the question is that if I do not add these things by default, what will happen? That's what I wanna see. What exactly am I gonna be getting, and is that gonna be good enough for auto scaling or not? So this much I've done, pretty simple. EKCTLIO VIN alpha 5 kind of cluster configure, metadata, and region. Only this much I have specified. If this much works, that's great. But of course, with this much configuration, I'm gonna be able to create an EKS cluster. So for creating an EKS cluster, it's gonna be quite crazy, because after some time, I'm definitely gonna be perspiring a lot, sweating a lot, of course. But okay, never mind. CD, probably from tomorrow onwards, I will be able to be live in a better way. Oops, like I'll be able to be live regularly. But as for now, let's just simply work on this. So if I want to create a cluster, so EKS CTL create cluster. File name is gonna be EKS cluster ML. I hope this is wrong command, of course. So what is the right command here? If I want to create a cluster using this configuration, in that case, what command? EKS, nope, not this one. EKS create cluster file name. Well, this seems to be right. So have I missed something? EKS CTL create cluster. EKS CTL create cluster file name cluster.ml. So that's exactly what I've done here. Okay, it turns out that something else is the problem, not this one. So right now, Docker desktop start. Of course, I'll have to start Docker first of all, and once it has started, then I can start working on the things. Can't I? Then Docker process status. These are the processes that are running. docker kind get clusters. I think one local cluster is running. Kind delete cluster. Let's simply delete that, and let's simply focus on one thing, that is that has been deleted, right? So if I run this command, well, that it was being deleted. I still have that. Kind delete cluster local, of course the name is gonna be local, and now it should be fine. Yeah, so the command that we were running earlier, that was eksctl create cluster, file name is gonna be the configuration that we have created, that is eks cluster ml. Still problematic. That simply means loading config this error, unmarshalling json while json cannot be a marshal array into go structure, blah 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 blah. Okay, got it. I mean, haven't got it well, but what could be the issue? Is this the issue? T3 is small. Yeah, it turns out to be that only. So let me do one thing. This array that I have over here, that is not valid, so I should just have t3 dot small, sort of like this. Alrighty, let's see what kind of cluster am I gonna be getting at the end of the day, and once this is done, then I'll see what happens. Labels, roar, vulgar, me family, Amazon Linux 2. Let's get rid of these two. Not really required for now, but it's good to have them. Later I will be knowing more about them. Like once I tried to know, I even knew them, then I forgot. Okay, never mind. The only thing that I have done, that I'm not adding these tags and this particular policy by default. Hopefully Amazon is gonna do it for myself, for me. But if it doesn't do, then of course I will have to create a new one. So this is the first one, and let's see what's gonna actually happen here. Apart from this particular thing, of course we can AWS EKS update config. We can just simply update the config with the region and the name of the cluster. That's fine. That's gonna be super helpful. And then we can talk about the storage and all. So how many things we talked about earlier, and what else do we have to talk about right now? So deployment was already done, so no need to worry about that. How about switch between clusters? So this is fine. Kind create cluster name. Not gonna be talking about the commands that I have already talked about. Kubectl config get context, so it will just simply give me all the context. This is mainly for the kubectl. Okay, that's fine. It will give me all the context, ultimately all the clusters, all the information of the cluster, and then I can just simply start using one of them. So kubectl config use context, and this is the cluster name. Get nodes config use context. I can even rename that. So kubectl config and use context, that simply means that's gonna be going to be used. Rename context, that simply means that's gonna be renamed. And kubectl config delete context, that's gonna be deleted. So this is nothing but all about how to switch between clusters, and this is all about context, actually contexts. So this particular thing is done. Not gonna be talking in between. While working on the project, I will run these commands and will show you exactly what they do. But as for right now, this is fine. cd.cube, if you go to this particular file, you will be seeing the information of the current context. As simple as that. Well, not this one, of course it is creating the cluster, so I cannot really do anything. Coming back to this one, if I go to, why am I running the command over there, ls. Alrighty, so this is the present working directory. This is the home directory. That simply means lsa. Over here I should be getting bash rc file, I should be getting .cube file, even I have .aws file, sort of. It contains the .aws configuration, if I'm not wrong, config credentials and all. Of course I'm not gonna show, but it does contain. And apart from this particular thing, just a sec, I should have, come on here, I should be saying it like this. Yeah, that's better. So kind. Okay, let's filter that. ls -a grep. I'm gonna be filtering is using .kind name. Of course that should be just kind name. Wow, not really getting anything. Interesting. Why am I not getting that? Don't I have kind here? Oh, that's not kind, that's actually cube. So Now I'm getting it. So this is the sort of a directory, if I'm not wrong. Cube, yeah, that does contain the configuration, cache and configure. Probably inside this I'm gonna be getting the current context. Okay, never mind. Inside this config you get the current. By the way, there should be nothing as of right now. Config. Well, there are few things. There's the configuration related to my AWS EKS what cluster that I created earlier. Okay, never mind. So this thing we've gone through, and install AWS CLI. By the way, these are the things that you need to install: AWS CLI, kubectl, and EKS and then after that you can get the caller identity. Having said that, that hasn't been created yet, so well, we can easily get the caller identity. AWS configure, AWS EKS update, kube configure region. Okay, we have already gone through this. These are just some of the commands. They are not required right now, so I'm not going to be talking about them. Whenever there is a need, we will go through them. That's not really a big problem. Then if you actually want to create a cluster, so this is the configuration for creating a cluster. Having said that, let me collapse this. We have removed some of the things, like the extra ones, the extra configuration that I was adding, and let's see what exactly result we get with the normal one. And let's collapse this one too, if I'm not wrong. Connected to the cluster, so AWS EKS update config. So ultimately, if you wanna update the kube config, you can just simply run this command. You will have to specify the region name, and especially if you wanna switch from local cluster to the EKS cluster. By the way, it switches automatically, but if you wanna do, if you have more than one cluster, then you can run this particular command. And then there is something called storage class.ml, PVC. That simply means what is the full form of PVC? Well, honestly, I've forgotten. Configure AWS for GP3 EBS volume. So okay, V stands for volume, P stands for something, and C stands for something. So storage. There was a full form for it. By the way, what is the use of this storage? The thing is simple, that you need the storage for persistent volume. What is the C? Persistent volume, whatever. Okay, never mind. By the way, using this particular, this is the configuration for just simply start using a GP3. By default, you get GP2, that is again EBS volume. GP3 is the modern one, so you would better just simply use that. And if you want to use that, you will have to go with this configuration. How I got it? ChatGPT. Okay, NEI. API version storage kit is IO. You have to just simply run this. By the way, there must be a command for running it as well. Just simply apply it. What else? Kind is gonna be storage class. I'm just simply gonna be creating a storage class. Metadata is gonna be, name is gonna be GP3. Provisioner is gonna be EBS CSI AWS.com. Ultimately, this is what is giving it to us. It is going to be ultimately an EBS volume. Parameter is gonna be, type should be GP3 by default. I am gonna be showing you that too. Like by default, you only get GP2. You should be getting GP3. You can even use standard persistent volume, but that is based on a local machine. If you wanna get the volume, EBS volume from the Amazon, then of course you will have to use this. And volume binding wait for first consumer, that simply means this particular volume will be bound to that particular EKS cluster when the customer actually what can I say, when the customer actually runs that particular application, then only it's gonna be sort of runs that particular service. We will be even showing going through this thing in action. But okay, allow volume expansion, that's gonna be true. That simply means if there is a need for expansion, that's gonna be true. This particular wait for customer consumer, that simply means when customer does something, only then get it connected. We will see it in action. And how will we see it in action? Especially when we create the deployment, then replica set will be created, then pods are gonna be running, and when the pods are actually running, this particular storage should be attached to the referenced pod. Okay, we will be going through this. And then EKS create cluster done. Kubectl apply, if you can just simply apply this. Kubectl get SC stands for storage class. So okay, persistent volume class, if I'm not wrong, that's the full form. We'll be going through it. So you can just simply see how many classes you have. As for right now, this is still being created, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so we cannot really check it, but soon we will be checking it. Apart from this particular thing, some permission related stuff. Having said that, if you have given it administrator access, then you don't really need to worry about it. Having said that, you may have to just simply add these policies. and that's it. The job is gonna be done. Not only that, you will have to add this particular stuff as well. What it does, it just simply EKS full access custom. You should EKS full access in the sense you should be able to create the EKS cluster. EKS, not EKS actually. You should be able to create. Ultimately, you should have full EKS. What is that called? Authority. You should have full EKS access, and because for that particular thing, you will have to just simply add this particular create a new policy ultimately, and you will have to add it. And it is just simply saying that it will just simply allowing all the action is gonna be EKS colon on everything. Resource is gonna be everything. By the way, you can know more about it. I got it from the ChatGPT and all. You can definitely know more about it. Even I myself have to learn more. So okay, it just simply keeps going on. Okay, kubectl config view and EKS CTL delete. What does this show? Kubectl config view. That's interesting. EKS CTL delete cluster, and this is fine. It's gonna be deleting the cluster. But what does this show? Kubectl. It turns out I don't even have it yet, so can't really do anything. But having said that, cd ls, if I actually run kubectl create cluster, name is gonna just this much only, kind is gonna be, well, that should be actually find create cluster. So new cluster is gonna be created. Come on, yeah, this should be happening quick. Okay, so once the new cluster is created, I'm gonna be running this particular command and seeing what happens actually because of this. Alrighty. By the way, our main focus is on the deployment part, and that should be done today. So we will be getting the deployment part, but before even directly moving to that, let's simply keep going through the previous things so that revision is gonna be done, or deployment will be done. And what else? Kubectl config view. So it just simply gives me the information of what? It simply gives me the information of the API clusters, cluster 1. This is the information. It simply gives me the information of the kubectl config view, right? It just simply gives me the information of all the clusters that are running right now on my local machine, or at least I'm connected to, that are actually running on AWS. Okay, by the way, right now local cluster is running. Even not only just local cluster, Vipendra, this it is even giving me the info about the AWS EKS cluster that was running earlier. But okay, never mind. Let's simply clear it. Fine. So this particular thing is done. We've talked about permissions, but I'm not sure. I mean, we directly need the permission because I haven't added the permission yet. Hopefully, this EKS cluster should be created because the permissions were added. I don't know. Did I add the permission? Let me see. I'll have to go to AWS, of course. Come on, I'll have to sign up. What was the password now? Alrighty. Hopefully, I'm gonna be in. Okay. So as for the permissions, I have just given it one permission. By the way, this is the created user. That simply means, what can I say it? This is the user that I created. I forgot the name of this user as well. Let me see what is the name of this user. This is not the, okay, this is the IAM user, not IAM user. Yeah. This is the user that I created, and there is the root user. If you sign with the main ID and password, then you are gonna be getting the root user. And this is the user that was created by me. So if you click on users, so Unstoppable the coder, this is the user that got created by me, and I'm logged in with that particular user only. As for the policies, not even policies, I had better go to this particular user if I'm not wrong. And permissions. So I have given it the administrator access. That simply means it has the full permission as for right now. Later you can just simply give it as many as are needed, actually, not all. That would be the best thing. And apart from this particular thing, I haven't created any policy in the sense, because it has the administrator access, so it will just simply allow everything. That sort of the thing that sorts everything for us. And as for right now, you don't, if you have given it the administrative access, then you don't really need to worry about it. Everything will work directly. Okay, talking about this, how to expose cluster on local machine. We will not talk about it right now, but it is simple. The thing is that when you are creating your cluster on your local machine, at that time you have to specify that which suppose control plane, your main node, master node, you wanna expose that on your local machine on this particular port number. So if I show you this particular thing over here, so whenever you create your local cluster, so you have to just simply specify that, okay, role is first one is gonna be control plane, second remaining two ones are gonna be workers. You can have more, of course. You have to just simply specify this thing over here, that okay, container port. Now how, wow, something's flying around me, but okay, never mind. So I said extra port mappings, and the container is gonna be 3007. Now this 3007 can actually change. So for that thing, first of all, you will have to okay, so you are actually the container port is gonna be 30,007, host port is gonna be 30,007. So what you are saying that the cluster that will be created, the clusters, not even the clusters, the cluster will have three nodes. The first node is gonna be control plane, second node is gonna be worker, third node is gonna be again a worker. So the main nodes, ultimately master nodes, port 30,007 will be mapped to host port 30,007. Now you will have to make sure that whenever you expose your service on the node, that should be exposed on 30,007 port only. That could be on any port, but the service should be exposed on 30,007, because once you expose the service that is running on 30,007, that particular result will be exposed to 30,007 on local machine. I mean, that's what I meant. If you understood, that's great. Otherwise we'll go through it someday. I have already gone through this particular thing previously. Okay, coming back to this particular thing, this doesn't really work. I tried this, but it works directly, that's great. As for this one, I'll see it whether it works or not, but first of all we have to deploy something online. Okay, so this is gonna be a to do. Let me just simply add this to do try it whether it works. Last time I tried it and I think it did not work, and still I didn't remove it from here. That simply means if I kept it, it might be working. Like we can even expose a specific port number, right? From specific port, not port, specific node. But let's see. Okay, done. Node port. Okay, node port is pretty simple. That if you want to expose something, some service, of course, that's gonna be service. Why am I calling it service? Because at the end you run what pods inside nodes, and pods in turn they are running containers. But if you wanna expose that pod, then you will have to use some kind of service, and that is why I'm just saying that service will be responsible for exposing. So if you are running any kind of service, that simply means port. So what this node port does, but by the way, these all things are services. So I have a node port service, I have load balancer service, I have cluster IP service. When it comes to the node port, so first of all, node port may expose a particular pod on the node in this particular range from 30,000 to 32,767. These are the predefined ports that you have to use. Anyhow, you cannot use like 3,000 or 4,000. You will have to use any within this range only. And now as for the work of node port, it just simply exposes your pod that is running inside the node. So by default your pod is not exposed to the node. Just a minute, give me a moment. Alrighty, let's continue. So what I said, that node port, what it does, you have a pod running inside the node, so it just simply exposes something that is running inside the pod on the node. It just simply goes like this. And when it comes to like how you can create it, it's pretty simple. You need to have the API version, the kind you want to just simply create a service. Metadata, this is just the name. You may have it, you may change the name. That's completely up to you. When it comes to specification, so we want to have a selector. Again, you are creating a service. The service should know how this service is gonna be selecting the pods, because there can be multiple pods running inside a node. Now I'm just simply talking about all these things theoretically. You should be understanding them. Users.ml And what else do we need to have? I need to create an event db. So inside oops, I'm gonna be creating db, and inside db I will have again one more manifest.ml, and these manifest will have nothing but what is the problem here? db is great, manifest.ml. Okay, this manifest.ml is actually a folder, sorry. So inside this I will have manifest.ml. Now it's good. Similarly here inside backend, the name can actually be anything, so don't worry about this, manifest.ml. and again I do not remember, that is why I have made my proper note. I know the overall flow, how it works and all. Now remembering it, being able to write it, that doesn't really matter, and I'm not even gonna be focusing on that. By the way, this is the URL. It just simply says that what, Postgres 1 2 3 4, creating ingress manually, that is fine. Username, your password, and the service name, namespace, svc cluster. It will just simply give you the local host, so like the local host, kind of the address of your database that is running. So db default svc cluster local, so it will be just simply giving you the service, so don't worry about that. And one thing I'm missing here, that is namespace. Over here we have the default namespace. It is only gonna be possible when you are running your what is that called, when you are actually running your database, and that has the default namespace. If you have assigned your database, ultimately if you have assigned your pod another namespace, then you will have to mention the namespace over here. By default it is default, okay, that's fine, but you will have to make sure that this is never not always gonna be default here. We will be even going through this. And then kubectl scale deployment, okay, this is mainly used for scaling your deployment, like kubectl scale deployment backend and replicas is gonna be 0, so it is gonna be downscaling your deployment just like manually, and then you can just simply upscale as well. kubectl get config map, it will just simply give you the config map that we have created. Again, it just simply stores the environment variable. kubectl execute in the interactive mode, you will be executing inside that. We will be going through it. The important thing is here, first of all, backend, again you need to make sure that that particular namespace is here, then proper configuration for that, then proper cluster IP for that. So we are gonna be going through it all. But before that, when it comes to this particular backend and front end, I need to have the images for both. I don't have them yet, so let me first of all work on this particular thing. So when it comes to images, so docker images, I don't have any, that's good. cd, let me go to the backend first of all, ls. Overall things we have done. So if I click on docker file, so what we are actually doing, that from bun, get this particular image as base, create the work directory, app directory, work directory, get the packages and all, install everything, generate the client, that is sort of important. And if you were using just npm, then you would have, I think you would have to provide the, I mean, what is that thing called, demo URL here, demo backend URL, but with bun you don't really need that. And then this is gonna be the runner one app, gonna be getting everything from there, and this is how it's gonna be starting. So as for the backend, we have everything ready here. So let me create the image directly. So docker process status, and as for the image, docker build tag is gonna be unstoppable the code, well that's wrong actually, unstoppable the coder, and name is gonna be what, name should be to do backend, that should be fine, to do or to do's backend, just name it anything, doesn't really matter. And the tag is gonna be latest, so let's keep the tag latest as for right now, and everything should get from the current directory. So if I just simply run this, it is simply telling me one thing, that is the unstoppable the coder. Invalid reference format. What is the right format here? how do we build this? I think this is the way to build this. I don't even have. I think this is the right command. Docker build tag unstoppable the code to do backend. Failure to build invalid tags. So ultimately the tag I'm that providing that's invalid. Tag for Docker build image with the so my okay slash I should not be using colon here. I should be using forward slash just like this. Let me run this. It's gonna be just simply building this. So, okay, image is gonna be built, that is for sure. The thing is that the same thing we have to do with the front end, and front end is actually using Next.js, right? Even there is flow byte here. Do we need this flow byte? React flow byte, and I don't really think so. So let me get rid of this first of all, and let me first of all create the image. Meanwhile, let's go to the front end side as well. cd front end. First of all, let's try running the front end so that we are sure that everything's running, and of course I'll have to build it, and then I'll have to create the image as well. Okay, ls npm, not even npm, one dev should be enough. Okay, at 3000, creating flow byte directly, that automatically gets created. Okay, that's fine, not a problem. If I go here, what am I gonna be getting? Again, there are gonna be issues because my backend is not running, hence I may not be able to see the things well, but let's see. There are gonna be errors for sure, but is this gonna be visible? It is just simply compiling right now. Meanwhile, the image is actually getting created too. Should work. Alrighty, here we have this, and it is just simply saying that error connecting. Ultimately, it could not connect it to the database, but ultimately my front end is running. I mean, that's fine. What I want to do here, that let me stop it, and dev actually one build. Let me just simply build it first of all. It is giving me the error, and what is that? Missing entry points. What would you like to bundle? It is saying that missing entry points package JSON. Doesn't it have build here? It does have it. So for that thing, one run build. It is gonna be building it. By the way, I already have .next, but it should be built well. Okay, so let's wait for a while. Hopefully it's gonna be built. Alrighty, it seems that it has been built. And if I run start, not really that, yeah, start, then once built, it should be running again well. Okay, that's fine, it's running. What is the next thing? Now we have to create the image, but before you create the image, you need to be sure that it should have the right URL. Again, as for the URL, we are sending the URL from here. That simply means we can give it the URL anytime, the right one, so we don't really need to worry about it. By the way, URL is definitely gonna change. So the URL of the front end, that's gonna be sort of like this, the one I have here. Come on, I should be able to show that. Here it is. So this is gonna be the URL. So ultimately this much gives you the IP, sort of IP of your machine, address of your machine. So you will have to use it anyhow, then only you will be able to locate your machine inside the cluster. So we'll definitely have to work on that. And as we are gonna be giving the namespaces as well, so we'll have to make again namespace. Okay, gonna be giving the namespace to the database as well. The right namespace should be here. So DB is the right namespace, SVC, cluster local, so it's just simply gonna be giving me the namespace of that particular. Just a minute. Okay, let's continue. So sorry for the background noise that was being created. Coming back to this one, so gonna be creating the backend first of all. Then as for this DB, let me see if I am giving the namespace to this. Earlier no namespace was given, but we do need to specify the namespace so that that does know where to find the right service at. Okay, so as for right now, okay, we don't really need to worry about it. We can just simply build the image and then it should be fine. How are we gonna be building the image? So over here, just give me a moment. Alright everybody, let's continue. And what we were about to do, we were just simply about to create the image, right? So dot docker ignore. First of all, we are gonna be ignoring a few things. The first one is of course gonna be node modules. We are gonna be ignoring the node modules. And apart from this particular thing, we don't really need to. We need to ignore this dot flow byte. It automatically gets created. So probably we need to ignore dot flow byte and react as well. And apart from this particular thing, okay, let's not worry about anything. I mean, even if they are there by default, it doesn't really matter. Okay, while building this will automatically get created, so no need to worry about that. Agents.md, so you can just simply agents.md, you can get rid of this as well. And this is how it's gonna be, just keep going on. Okay, and apart from this particular thing, even you have this cloud. Okay, let's forget about this. Okay, ultimately our main focus is gonna be on building the image, and for that thing I'll have to create a docker file here. Okay, now there are two ways: create the docker file with the help of the AI or create it on your own. So let's try to do this from oven bun as let's get it as base. This is gonna be the first stage for us. Work directory, of course, that's gonna be app. The next thing is that we are gonna be copying package.json. So copy package everything dot package dot json in the current directory, and once this is done, run bun install. Will be just simply installing it, and just a minute. Give me a moment for a while, I'll be back. I mean, I won't be back, I'll be here in just a sec. I think it should be fine. I mean, I was expecting the noise to be created and that is why I thought of being I thought of turning it off, but okay, never mind. Bun install is here, and apart from this particular bun install, how about building the image over here? So even before building the image, you need to have everything, right? So I actually need to copy everything. So copy everything in the current directory, and once I have copied, after that I'm gonna build the image. So run bun run build. Probably bun install is fine, bun run build, it's gonna be just simply building this. And once everything has been built, then I'm gonna be creating another stage. So from o1 bun as suppose this is gonna be runner, and work dir is gonna be app here. And once we have work dir, now we need to have what we actually need. So in that case, apart from this particular thing, what else do we need to have? Let me start copying. So probably from, what was the command for that? We have to just simply copy it, right? So let me copy what we need. So copy from, what is the stage over here? That's gonna be the base stage. And what I want to copy, I want to copy app/node modules to the current directory. So this is how it's gonna be going on. Hope I'm not wrong. I can even specify it like this, that doesn't really matter, and that's gonna work. Okay, so coming back to this particular point, from base image, base what stage, I'm gonna be just simply getting node modules in the current directory. I can even mention node modules here, that doesn't really matter. And especially for the directories, it's good to just mention it here, like I mentioned it earlier. Yeah. And then I have the node modules. Apart from the node modules, I'm gonna be copying base, and what else, /app/ what else do I need to install? I mean, not install actually, just simply copy it over here. That's gonna be the .next folder, .next in the current directory. So this should be in the current directory ultimately, and probably not even like this. So this way I will have everything inside .next. And apart from this particular thing, I have .flow byte. Yeah, I do need to have that. So copy from stage base app/flow byte is again a folder here, if I'm not wrong. So flow byte react, and it's gonna be flow byte react. And I think this is the right one. Hopefully this is the right one. And apart from this particular thing, what else do I need to do? We have this, we have this, we don't have VS Code, we don't really need this. We need everything, that is, no, we don't even need the app over here. We needed node modules. Public, not really needed. And apart from this particular thing, environment variable not needed. Docker file. What else do we need? TS config. What all do we need for running? Just a minute. What all do we need for running .next file? So to run this, we need a next folder. We need package.json. So let me get that. Of course we need this, I was just simply forgetting this. So I need from base /app/package.json. I need it in the current directory. Mainly with the files, you can just simply write dot. For the directories, I just mentioned the name of the directory as well. And once we've done this, so we've got the package.json. We need the next config, and we need the public folder. That is actually optional. So we just need one more thing, next.config.js. That's it. And I think we didn't really have it earlier. So copy from base /app/next.config. This time it should be ts. So next.config.ts. We could have had this as well in the current directory. So that's it. Let's see whether it actually runs or not. I'm not sure. We'll see. Expose. It's actually gonna be exposed on port 3000. Port container port, and that's gonna be what? My backend is gonna be running on which port? Not sure. Which port is the backend running? 4000 by default. So let me add this 4000 here. And that it even needs some environment variables as well. So we need some en which. So we need to make sure that I'm giving some environment variables, and it turns out I'm not passing the environment variables directly from here. That is something I have to do, so that's gonna be a to do. Pass the env's environment variables as well. From here we'll continue tomorrow. I mean, that's enough for now. We have created quite enough. Like, I don't even have a lot of time. Was supposed to be live for 1 hour, luckily ended up being live for 1 hour and 15 minutes, but that's could be better than this. As for the remaining things, overall the things are done. Now the next thing is that we have to create the deployments. We have to just simply, and using these images, we have to just simply run them, and once they are running we have to create proper services. So even one more thing is here, create a service. So we'll be creating service, though I could have just simply copied and pasted and it would not have taken this much time, but it's better to just simply being able to write on or on, and then we can copy paste anytime. So yeah, these are the two things that we have to create, and similarly I have to do it for 3 things. Backend is done, almost, not even done, we have to just do it. Then front end is there, database.